Hello everyone, it's a Guild Wars 2 build video. The first build video of 2022. You got it right, 2022. What's going on? Good Lord, I bet you've been like, oh, where's Jebro been? Well, you know what? School's been hectic, everything's been hectic, life is hectic, but still playing some Guild Wars 2. We got a build for us in the new year. I hope you're well, I hope you're good. Don't forget to like, comment, and please subscribe to the channel if you haven't before. There will be tons more podcasts coming, as well as a ton of videos, build videos, and everything else as we approach the launch of the next expansion in February of Guild Wars 2 End of Dragons. Oh yes, it's coming, people. We are very, very, very close indeed. Obviously, we have the Patreon as well if you want to get on there with an advanced preview of the builds that come out. They will be 2 days ahead or a day ahead, depending. You can get in there first, try them out, have a look, be the first to watch if you care about that kind of thing, or if you just want to support me in my endeavors. Being a counselor over in the west coast of America for mental health, looking after kids and adolescents and all the things. I hope you had well, hope you had a new year, which was awesome, and Christmas as well. Let's have a look at what this build is about. And cheeky Guild Wars 2 music in the background there as well. It is a Mortar kit build. You see all the gyros. Now there is people that run just Mortar builds as well who are good players, but they're not engineers and they don't know the full awesomeness that they could be unleashing upon the world, and they're actually playing it wrong, everyone. They're playing it all wrong, okay? Go for maximum super speed, go for a ton of quickness. You can go for a little bit more dodge on your hammer and everything else with energy sigil. I will show you everything though. We're gonna go for it right now. Here we go. Okay, so for now, we're gonna go for Demolisher's Amulet. Now, if you're going versus a heavy Condi comp, go Marauders. You know, go for a little bit more HP. If you're going versus power classes, go for a little bit more toughness. Okay, that's also fine. Here, as well, we're going to go for Traveler. We have a lot of super speed. Okay, now you can use a lot of super speed to get around the map, so you could go for divinities here. Give yourself extra stats across the board if you want to. People go for divinities. Major reason most people seem to go for divinities is because they're not actually sure what to go for. It's a medium run-of-the-mill thing. It just gives you stats, okay? It just gives you stats in different areas. Like, what's the point in giving condition damage? What's the point in giving you healing power? What's the point in giving you expertise? There is no point. It goes to, do you know what I mean? It just gives you a bit of extra crit chance and everything else. Find something relevant to you. Something maybe with a little bit more concentration with bin duration is good. Leadership could be good. And you know what would be good as well? Lissa could be quite good. Lissa is one of the most underrated runes in the PvP. Okay, it just is. You can convert conditions into boons after using elite skill. Every 45 seconds you get a free Condi removal. For engineers specifically, Condi removal is quite tough a lot of the time. Could be a choice. I've got Traveler in there to fill in for super speed. Don't really need that. Pick what you want to go for. Divinities could go for Lizard, could go for leadership, for example, as well. Get more boon duration. You also convert 2 conditions into boons for allies as well when using elite skill. So you can be a little bit more supportive. With this build you can be, because you've got a ton of gyros, which we're going to talk about in a moment. A lot of the people who run Mortars play very selfishly. They play for the sides, they get involved in team points, but they don't get to give a lot of quickness to their allies, okay? They just don't. It doesn't happen that much, and that's, you know, that's okay. It feels like you can be a little bit more useful. We've got the hammer, of course. We've got Sigil of Cleansing. This is up to you. This is swapping weapon. If you feel like, you know, you want to go for purging instead, which is on hit, you can go for that. If you're a little bit less confident about always getting that condition removal and thinking about swapping out your weapon to your, out of your mortar kit to your weapon, or weapon to your mortar kit, whatever, then go for that. Purging, sorry. Or it just depends, whichever you want to bloody well go for. Energy is going to give you more endurance. Hello. Dodge is good. Welcome to Guild Wars 2. If the first time you've ever come to Guild Wars 2, please look up dodge videos. There is definitely a ton of videos about dodge out there. All good dodge videos. Just watch videos about cars. You know, those dodge vehicles. Whatever. So I'm excited today. Alchemy, Explosive, Scrapper. Scrapper is the main one you want, obviously, because it is your elite spec that you're going to be using. Alchemy is Survival Tree, and then we've got Explosives, which assists in your damage and whatnot as well. Let's go through Alchemy very, very quickly here. You could go for Invigorate Speed if you want to. When you gain Swiftness, you gain Vigor. You do get a little bit of Swiftness in this build. It's not worth it in comparison to Protection Injection. Keep seeing people taking this in this Mortar Kit build as well. Not sure why. Doesn't make sense when you've got a 30-second cooldown protection, which is minus 33% incoming damage and 3.25 seconds of lasting time, which is going to help you a lot more. I mean, you could go for this. Okay, this is okay. You do get 6.25 seconds of dodge. You're very, very good at the evasions. You know the animations and everything else. Invigorating Speed may be very good for you as well. Lesser Elixir C. Drink an Elixir C when you reach threshold of conditions affecting you, which is 2. That's got a cooldown of 100 seconds as well. It's just a minor trait. Again, you know, emergency elixir, drink it when you're struck below the health threshold of 33%. You get barrier, you also get protection. Blah, blah, blah. Compounding chemicals, heal yourself when you grant yourself a boon and gain increased concentration. And then I've got Iron Blooded here. Now, this is up to you, okay? This is generally reducing physical and condition damage for each boon you have. You have mostly about 4 boons up, pretty much permanently in team fights. So you're reducing your damage, your incoming damage and condition damage by 8%. Whether or not you want to go for Period Purpose is up to you. Period Purpose works really well with like Protection, Holosmith builds, and builds where you're consistently able to remove conditions. That is up to you. I go with Iron Blooded just because across the board I tend to get more about 5 or 6 boons, but it's mostly stability, quickness, might, and protection. You get some vigor as well. Like vigor would be, that's why this would be maybe quite good. For example, getting as many boons as you possibly can. Maybe a rune which gives you a couple of boons as well, so it might be quite useful if you're thinking about reducing more damage. Again, that choice is up to you. You could go for this, obviously removing conditions with Purge Jar, you can remove conditions through light fields, all that kind of stuff. If you go a more elixir route, now people I know obviously go for things like Elixir C and the Elixir for heals, then you're obviously going to want to go for HGH to reduce those cooldowns and give you might. Explosives. Now, you know what this is by now if you're an engineer, but your first attack when you enter combat explodes, dealing damage to nearby foes. This ability refreshes after a dodge roll. So remember that as well as we go through the build. It's not as you know, relevant in this build as it is to potentially, you know, and getting blinds and getting more barrier and whatnot. But you know, it's worth thinking about. You get the extra attack, you get the extra explosion, it's nice. Gain fury when you hit a foe with an explosion. Now, your explosions are all here on your Mortar Kit. Every single one, other than the 5th field, which is good if you want to think about, you know, getting your heal off. 5th skill on your Mortar Kit is always going to be your heal skill. If you want to pop up a little bit of AoE healing for yourself and allies, or just for yourself and you want to get a blast off there, you want to get some kind of charge through that. Anyway, you can get extra healing. That's going to be good. There is a blast here as well, combo blast finisher with blast gyros. Don't forget you can blast water fields. But these 4 abilities all have explosions, so don't forget that. So you're going to be getting a ton of fury. And this fury has no ICD of 3 seconds. So it's pretty much... It's up pretty much the whole time. If you're in Mortar, you've got permanent fury, basically. Have a look at the stats there as well. You're up to 75% crit chance. Don't really need much more than that, really, in all honesty. Not bad. There's no other boons coming out there, so the damage is very basic. Okay, so don't forget about that. Stacking ferocity as well in this build because, and then we'll get there. Basically, also explosions cause vulnerability. We're able to see that on the target as well. Put down a ton of different explosions. 4 stacks, 5 stacks, 6. How many can we get just with mortars? I think it's just 5 or 6. It pokes over to. Oh no, it pokes over to 7. If you're consistent and you're just going for 1 hit, you're getting 7 stacks pretty consistently there as well. Explosive temper. grant stacking ferocity when they hit your explosions, that is, of course. Now, obviously, the blast gyro is an explosion as well. These are not explosions, but here you go. You've got your 4 explosions here. You've got this explosion here. You don't have any explosions here, of course, but that's pretty good. Extra damage. 20 for ferocity as well. So you got stacking ferocity when they hit. Maximum stacks of 10. So you're going to be able to get extra 200 ferocity. Okay, so the longer the fight goes on for, you're just going to be stacking up this damage, which is pretty damn awesome. Okay, so it increases your critical damage. So don't forget, you want to always remember, always focus on the synergy in these builds. Like, think about it. If I can survive in these fights, then you got to think about, can I survive in these fights for that long? Yes, you definitely can, because you've got the survivable traits in your build. It's a fantastic build. You can see the stats going up there on the side. You know, we got that extra 200 to stack, so you can see the stacks there. It happens pretty easily. It's just stacking. You know, the more damage coming out, the more explosions. You're always going to be in Mortar kit, because this is where a lot of your damage comes from, along with your hammer as well. So what's next? We do have deal increased strike damage for each stack of vulnerability on your target. So you gain an extra 0.5% of damage. As you saw, on average, we're getting about 6-7 stacks just by hitting that first Mortar kit ability as well. So we're getting an extra, as well as on top of the vulnerability, we're getting an extra, what? 3 or 4% damage minimum. Okay, don't forget, shock shield. Okay, 10 stacks of vulnerability. So block attacks while striking foes in front of you, gaining barrier with each enemy you hit, and you apply 10 stacks of vulnerability. That's 10 stacks, that's an extra 5% damage. Okay, so if you ramped up those mortar hits and then you smack that on them, that's 17 stacks. Okay, you can do the math. You're getting up to like 7-8% extra damage. You're thinking about everything else in the build. Your damage is stacking over time, you know, and it doesn't take that long to do, because you know, on Guild Wars 2, they just let you spam out things like anything, including condition damage. It's not good, but it's just the way it is. Not bad. It should be for that way for power builds, but not for condition builds, and that's a big issue in the game. Other options, if you want to, okay, blast shield. So explosive entrance grants barrier. And this is the synergy between invigorating speed here and then blast shield and then flashbang. But that's a different build, that's a different option. You can go for explosive entrance, blast shield, which gives you explosive entrance, gaining barrier, and you gain vitality based on percentage for power as well. So you get more HP, which is a little bit more survivability, of course. You get the barrier as well. More dodge, more abilities to pinch off that explosive entrance because you're dodging more, getting that explosive off more. You're able to then potentially think about going for flashbang, so explosive entrance, infinite blindness when it hits. So if you've got a lot of vigor uptime, i.e. from this and from other sources, you're going to be able to get a lot of flashbang out. You're going to be able to get a lot of daze and blindness as well. And there's no ICD on this, which is internal cooldown in the traits. So that's why it's very, very strong, and coordination with that, it's very, very strong. But it's because you have to be pretty active to get these off together. Instead, I go for the damage. I go for Big Boomer. I go for dealing increased strike damage to foes with lower health percentage than you. Hitting with an explosion heals you over a few seconds as well. So you gain a 10% increase in damage, and then you also get a heal for 3 seconds. A little bit more sustain, eh? So in low, you know, if you're low, the target is as well, you're going to get a little bit of, you're going to be able to get a little bit of extra sustain, and that's pretty nice. Could be used in a very, very supportive build as well if you really wanted to. There's options. You can go for these other two. If you're going to go for this, I'd go for obviously Blast Shield and then Vigor here as well. Give it a bash. See what it's like. See how you play the build how you want to play it, you know? It's up to you. It's okay. Then we've got Scrapper. Fairly standard. You get more super speed in this build if you go for gyroscopic acceleration. Mass momentum is, I would say, more selfish in the grand scale of things. It says gain might while you have stability, but your function gyro also applies stability to allies when cast, and that's only when you cast your function gyro, which in all honesty is once every 25 seconds, okay? This, on the other hand, increases well ability size, which is going to give you more defense, more condition removal, and a bigger area to blast and also do knockback damage, as well as, you know, just be this just makes people run away because everyone now knows what it does. It's taken a while, and they changed these because this used to be something which you sent out like a dart, and then the gyro would just run to it, which is fun, but this is more fun because it's AoE damage. It's very, very strong. And what else did it say? Your function gyro also grants super speed to allies when cast as well. This is going to be interesting and important in a moment. Don't forget, in this build, this is why a lot of people don't go for this, because the heal here gives you super speed, and so it gives you super speed here as well, and function gyro gives you super speed without running this, which is why a lot of people don't run this and they go for a little bit more damage. This is less selfish, but you can still side node and you can team fight even more effectively over having, say, this. Let's keep going. Yeah, and the associated tool belt skill, which we talked about. Object in motion, dealing increased strike damage while you have stability, swiftness, or super speed. You've always got super speed. You can get swiftness by using thunderclap and then by blasting it. You know, you can get all these things out on the build quite easily. Stability as well, which comes out of things like defense field. Hello, this is lovely. A percentage of strike damage you deal is converted into barrier. Your vitality is reduced, so you do get minus 180 vitality, which kind of sucks, but you get more barrier, so you get more bang for your buck, really, to be honest. They put that minus vitality in because it was quite strong, I think. I can't remember. Kinetic accelerators gain concentration based on your power. That's more boon duration. And when you grant super speed to a target, you also grant quickness as well. They're able to get their abilities out quicker. They're able to do more damage quicker. They're able to heal quicker. They're able to pull off those actions quicker. Okay, so you can burst targets down as a team. You can, especially if you're duoing with someone, you can say, you know, I'm going to pop out this gyro, the blast gyro. We're going to get some quickness. We're going to get some, you know, some swiftness as well, some super speed. We're going to be able to burst down this target really quickly. We've got the quickness. Boom, it's lovely. 3.25 seconds. Don't forget, the key thing to remember here is that you get quickness there off the heal, right? You don't get the quickness off of the function gyro until it ends, until it goes, pretty much. Okay, just remember that. So it's important. There goes the blast gyro. Boom, now you've got the super speed. Okay, that's something important to really, really remember with gyros. It's different with the heals because that's different in itself, but you do get that one, obviously, heal there. Let's see what happens with the actual heal gyro. You get a lot more super speed for that as well. Pretty nice. You get a ton of super speed. There's so much super speed. You can just spam this off cooldown. Like, I mean, I wouldn't, but you pretty much could, to just keep up permanent quickness, permanent, you know, permanent super speed and everything else to get around the map. Without Traveler, I would probably use it quite often, but you want to use it mostly for your defense, obviously. You're going to be using a lot of these things in the fights anyway. Don't forget the function gyro as well is going to give you super speed. So even if you don't use it, remember it's still there. Also, don't forget that this is a lightning field as well, which is, you know, a good thing to remember. Don't forget to put that vulnerability on. Boom, boom, boom. Lovely amount of super speed. Look at the gyros just there. Look at it. Bloody lovely. You can't stack the super speed that much, okay, peeps? Okay, the maximum duration is 10 seconds. That's an important thing to remember, okay? So well abilities have an increased area of effect, grant super speed to nearby allies as well. Super speed movement speed is greatly increased, maximum duration 10 seconds. That is one gyro for 3 seconds. So you can pop off 3 abilities, at least anyway, and you'll get the maximum super speed. Okay? Just be very careful. Even clicking it over, you know, you're gonna lose a second. So you could use 4 and you'd probably be okay. By the time you got to using the 4th one, you know what I'm saying, it's gonna take you a second to use it. It's gonna be 1 second, and then, you know, you wanna make sure you have like those seconds left, so you're not just wasting it, not just spamming it like that, you know, and you're using all of it, which is kind of what I do sometimes and panic, because then you've run out of potential amount of time that you can put super speed out, as well as quickness, so you get through the traits and whatnot as well. Otherwise, that's pretty much the build. I'm not going to talk about much for much longer, but don't forget, big damage abilities. Okay, Electro Well is a big ability, especially versus projectile classes like Necro with Lich Form, Ranger, Revenant running bow, Thief, anything with projectiles. That is going to reflect them back, and it's also going to do a big, massive amount of damage as well. Defense field is really big because it gives you stability. It also gives you a field of, well, the bubble which blocks projectiles. Massive ability versus Lich again, and anything which has projectiles, which is a lot of things at the moment in the game, which, you know, Dragon Hunter add to that list as well, which is horrible. Rocket Charge, don't forget, using Rocket Charge with the heal, for example, is going to give you that cheeky little extra bit of healing. Extra combo finishes, always a really awesome, wicked value, okay? Don't forget as well, you got the blast coming out from that field, as well for the water. Beautiful. It's all good, okay? You got the combo blast finisher with the water combo field. Don't forget, we've also got the different fields which are going to give you different auras, which are also going to benefit you. Light field, obviously, we've got the chill field as well, which is going to be able to give you the lovely, beautiful aura. But don't forget, this is the one with the light field. So if you blast a light field, you're going to be able to remove conditions. It's important that you go and find out the combinations for all of these. Okay, combo field poison, combo field ice, that's your aura there. And then you got combo field light field does condition removal, water obviously the big heals. It's worth finding out what all of these combo fields do. And I might do a video where you just literally do that as well. I mean, yeah, actually that might be a good idea. Okay. Otherwise, that is the build, okay? Or maybe we can just do it very quickly now. Okay, let's just do it very quickly now. Just the most important ones, okay? We've not got field there. We've got poison shell here, okay? That inflicts poison. You blast it, you're gonna be able to get area weakness. Now, weakness is obviously like pretty important because, you know, it's weakness, endurance, regeneration, all the things. That's pretty good. You know, it does reduce somewhat of the enemy. I'm just saying, it's a nice thing to have. Obviously, I don't know why I'm pausing. I actually just thought I got a little bit of an emergency from a client there, so you're gonna have to bear with me sometimes, because that kind of does happen because I'm on call a lot of the time as well. Okay, so where am I? Frost aura from the ice field as well. This is what it's like now. Okay, mental health counselor, getting calls from people, you know, when I'm doing stuff. It's just a never-ending thing, and I love it, but it's also, you know, it's quite difficult. So Frost aura, you're gonna chill anyone that strikes us, and incoming damage is reduced as well by 10%. So if you've got that in addition to protection as well, that's pretty nice, you know, that's pretty goddamn well nice. Light field, as I said, you know, you blast that, you get one condition removed from you, yourself and allies. And then the heal field as well, the water field, area healing when you blast that. It's bloody lovely. It's a fun build, just pulling out the mortar. I wish we had a skin for this. Let me know what you think about that. Do you think we should get skins for the mortar kit? I think that would be a good idea, in all honesty. Remember when they had the mortar kit from back in the day? And it was just a thing you planted on the floor and just shot it? It was so bad. No one ever used it. It was rubbish. Anyway, 25 minutes later, the build is done. Jebro's going to stop mumbling like an absolute fool. I will see you later. Thanks so much for watching. Take care. Have an amazing rest of your week. And again, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe if you enjoyed my random ramblings. And I've got lost a little bit while I got a little bit of a cheeky text messages from clients. I do apologize, but also I don't, because that's kind of what I do now as well. In internship, in school. So if you do want to support the channel, like I said, even chucking us a follow on Twitch as well, twitch.tv/JebroUnity. I do play a ton of different MMORPGs. If you subscribe, you'll find out when I'm streaming those. Star Wars, The Old Republic, New World, Guild Wars 2, Final Fantasy 14, when I've got the time. Guild Wars 2 obviously goes without saying. End of Dragons coming up soon. Take care. Have a good one. And I'll see you on the next one.